The only way to stop war is not through politics. It will never come through treaties or armies or yet another negotiation across the table. The only way to stop war is to wake up. And this may sound unusual at first, but stay with me because once you truly see it, you may never see war the same way again.
Wake up. The only way. Stop the fighting. Stop the lies. The only way to stop war is to wake up.
We've been taught that war is something that exists out there, that it belongs to nations and religions and rival groups of people. But the truth is much harder and much closer than that. Every war is humanity fighting its own reflection. Every war is humanity fighting its own reflection. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. When a nation bombs another, it is still humanity bombing itself. When one group directs hatred at another, it is humanity hating itself. When one person harms another, it's the same body turning against itself. We live inside a closed environment. It's a vast container of shared air, shared energy, shared resonance. So every time I exhale, I'm actually sharing my vibration, my emotions, my thoughts, my very chemistry. Now, when I inhale, I'm taking in the imprints of everyone else, their hopes, their fears, their joys, their sorrows. We're not separate. We are one system. Each of us is a cell within a single body. And here's why this matters so deeply. Our surface thoughts, those little phrases, those judgments that loop through us every day, they're not meaningless noise. They are clues. They reveal the deeper programs running beneath the floorboards of our awareness. Neuroscience will describe this as the brain is constantly predicting and testing the world. What we expect, we notice. What we notice, we reinforce. Now, psychology will show this as automatic thoughts shape behavior. Repeat a thought enough, and the brain strengthens the pathway. This is neuroplasticity. What we rehearse becomes easier to access. What seems like a passing complaint, a flash of fear, or casual judgment is actually the weather on top of a much deeper climate. And this climate is shaped by our habits, wounds, and narratives that simply direct our days. These deeper programs are not abstract. They live in the rhythms of our breath, in the tension we hold in our shoulders, in the tone of our voices. And because we're not isolated, our nervous systems constantly mirror one another. When you carry tightness, anxiety, or fear, it registers in the people around you. When you carry calm, openness, that too ripples outward. So our surface thoughts become subconscious programs. Programs become embodied states. Embodied states become the field we broadcast. And the field we broadcast becomes the mirror of the world that returns to us. So when I look at another person, it's no different than looking into a mirror. If I throw a punch at that reflection, the only one I truly wound is myself. It's as absurd as my heart deciding to attack my lungs, or my left hand trying to destroy my right. It makes no sense. Because at the deepest level, I'm one being, one body, one soul. And every war we fight outside is nothing more than a reflection of the war we have already allowed to grow inside of us. And this is no longer about borders. It's no longer about geopolitics. It's about remembering what we are. One being breathing through billions of bodies. One earth, one source. One song that's been echoing since the beginning of time. And until we remember this, we will keep tearing at our own skin, breaking our own bones, and declaring war upon the mirror. The only way to stop war is to wake up. Now let's imagine for a moment that the cells in your body forgot they belong to the same body. Imagine they stopped cooperating. They stopped recognizing one another and instead began to compete, to resist, even to attack. If that happened, your organs would fail. Your body would collapse. And that is exactly what humanity is doing right now. We've forgotten that we are one body. Each of us is a cell carrying a purpose, carrying a gift that's meant to serve the whole. But instead of serving, we divide. Instead of supporting, we fight. Instead of collaborating, we compete. Your heart does not try to kill your lungs. Your liver doesn't go to war with your kidneys. Each part knows a truth written deep in the body. I survive because we survive. But imagine if the body itself forgot. Imagine the lungs declaring independence. Imagine the brain claiming dominion. Imagine the liver saying, I don't need the rest of you. That would be madness. And yet, that is exactly the madness we are living as a species, fighting for control in the same skin. We are earth cells, star cells, soul cells. We are one body. Nations are organs, cultures are the system, and families are the tissues. And just like your own body, no part can thrive in isolation. Separation is the illusion. And the truth is simple. When we remember that we are one body, we thrive. When we forget, we collapse. So I started the video with wake up. Well, we're living inside a dream, the dream of being separate. And this dream is so convincing, so immersive, that we mistake it for truth. But the dream is more than one mistaken belief. It is the habitual state of unconscious living. Most people drift through their life half asleep, carried by routine, lulled by distraction. It's wrapped in the static of culture. We mistake busyness for living. We mistake survival for thriving. We mistake noise for truth. And all this is the dream. Life lived without coherent attention, where surface thoughts are allowed to spin their tails and we never look behind the curtain, well, we begin to believe we are apart. We begin to believe we are alone. We start believing that we must compete and fight in order to survive. In this forgetting, we start to build walls. We raise armies. We declare wars, all to defend a lie. But like every dream, there comes a moment of lucidity, a shimmer, a crack in the illusion, a breath that whispers, wait, this isn't real. And in that moment of waking, we start to remember. We remember that I'm not separate from you. I breathe the same air you breathe. I walk the same ground you walk. We dream the same dream. There is no me against you. There is only one. The dream of separation ends the very moment we wake up. And when we wake up, we remember there has only ever been one dreamer. To wake up from the dream is to live coherently. To wake up is to sense how each small choice tunes the entire field. To wake up is to remember the truth that we are all one. So here is the truth that carries us even deeper. The source of that one dreamer has never been absent. It's never been divided. It's never been apart. It doesn't matter what you call it, God, or light, or the universe, or spirit, or simply life itself. Every tradition has its name. But what they all point to is the same wholeness. It has always been there, always humming beneath the noise, always whole. It's our stories that fracture. Science names it one way, religion is another. But beneath the names is the same tone, the same resonance reminding us we're not separate. We are one field, one body, one source. Even science itself is now gesturing towards this unity. Quantum physics shows us particles remain mysteriously connected, even across vast distances. What happens to one happens to the other. Biology is now showing that the DNA alphabet written in our cells is shared with every form of life on this planet. Ecology reminds us that every breath is exchanged. What I exhale, you inhale. What the trees release, we receive. Now, how perfect is that? There is no true separation. There are only systems within greater systems, all held together in one whole. The source always was. The source always is. And the source always will be. We have never lost it. We've only forgotten how to listen. The wars we see outside are mirrors of wars we carry inside. Every battlefield begins here, in the quiet tension between our thoughts and our breath, between fear and trust, between love and the instinct to survive. We've given it so many names: stress, anxiety, anger, judgment, resentment. But beneath every label, it's the same forgetting. It's the mind attacking the heart. It's the heart silenced by fear. It's love strangled by the illusion of separation. And the world is reflecting back what we carry. A divided heart creates a divided planet. A fearful mind fuels fearful nations. As within, so without. So let's stop for just 1 second. Close your eyes. Feel your body. Where does the war live in you? Is it in your chest? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your throat? Just notice it. Don't judge it. Every time you release that tension, every time you choose coherence instead of chaos, you are withdrawing fuel from the fires of the war outside. Peace doesn't begin out there. It begins here in the body. Your inner field is not small. It is the broadcast tower through which the collective learns its tone. End the war within, and the outside world loses its reason to fight. And this isn't just philosophy, this is actual resonance. It's physics and truth. The only way to stop war is to remember that we are one. This is not a belief or an ideal, this is reality. Families laugh in the same way across every border. Rivers don't stop and ask permission to flow. Your DNA mirrors every other being on earth. We are already one. We just pretend that we're not. War is forgetting, and peace is remembering. There's a word, an ancient tone that came through me as a vision in the language of Shavira. And that word is On Lira. It means I am one with all. And this is not just a word, it's a frequency. It's a vibration that retunes the human field back into unity. Every time we speak it, we remind humanity of who we truly are. Take a slow breath and whisper it. Feel it in your body. On Lira. On Lira. That sound is not just your voice, it's the voice of the whole. Peace has never been something we invent, and it has never been something we negotiate. Peace is what rises when we remember. And the very moment we remember, war ends. So here's my invitation for you to remember who you truly are. Not just in words, but in the way you breathe, in the way you enter a room, in the way you treat even the smallest life. The lucid dreamer is the one who stays awake inside the dream and remembers what others have forgotten. The lucid dreamer remembers that we are one body, one soul, one love. And so we will not end with words, but with a tone, the remembering of a word of unity. On Lira. On Lira. One body, one breath, one dreamer, one.
Wake up. Stop the fighting. Stop the lies. The only way to stop war is to wake up. Brothers, sisters, look around. Same blood beating underground. Lines and borders cut us thin, but we all breathe the same air in. Nothing good for me